How often should you train legs? Now, most people only hit legs once per week, and for good reason. Working legs is hard. But here's the real kicker. Determining whether you should train legs more or less often also depends on your level of training and experience in the gym. Now, I highly recommend beginners to train legs at least twice a week so you can quickly learn proper technique with complex lifts like squats and deadlifts. But if you're committed to training them once per week, that doesn't mean you can't make progress. You just have to make sure you're doing enough volume and intensity in that one session. Now, the more advanced you get, the less often you'll need to train legs. So it's much easier to get by doing once per week. Advanced lifters know proper form and technique, so they know how to get the most out of an exercise. And they can also handle much higher intensities and really push themselves to get their best workout. And here we're talking about squatting or deadlifting for multiple sets, followed by other exercises, of course. Now, when training legs once per week, focus on compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, and leg presses, followed by isolation exercises like leg extensions, leg curls, and calf raises. If you're training legs twice or more per week, you might want to split these bigger exercises up, so doing squats one day and deadlifts in another session. And in this case, you can probably ditch the isolation leg exercises altogether, except calf raises, since you'll be training legs so often anyways. Now, the frequency of leg training heavily depends on what type of workout routine you're doing in the first place. For example, if you're doing total body training 3 times per week, then shock, you'll be doing legs 3 times per week. If you're doing an upper-lower split, then you'll be training legs twice per week, or possibly once per week in certain variations. Now, if you're doing a classic bro-style body part split, then you're probably going to be training legs only once per week. And if you're doing a push-pull leg split, then you'll generally be either hitting legs once or twice per week, depending on how you structure your week. And nothing's set in stone though. With any of these routines, you can adjust the frequency of leg training as you see fit. Still not sure if you're training legs enough though? Pay attention to these signs. Are your legs fully recovered between sessions? Are you able to progressively add weight and or reps? Has your strength stagnated? These are key indicators to either train legs more or less, depending on how you answered the questions. If your strength is stagnated, and you're training legs twice per week, you might want to scale it back to once per week. If you're training legs once per week and your strength has stagnated, you might want to scale it up to twice per week. So you just want to be smart and use common sense here. Now, if you do decide to change your leg training frequency, give your body 4 to 6 weeks to adapt before judging the results. And finally, consider your other activities too. If you're playing sports or doing cardio that heavily involves legs, factor this into your leg training frequency as well. Now, I've mentioned that how often you should train your legs depends partially on what type of workout split you're doing in the first place. But what type of split should you do? Go watch this video where I go over the best type of split you can do to promote muscle growth. But be warned, the answer might surprise you.